Oh, it's streaming. Okay. I've been sitting here talking to myself, and apparently I wasn't even streaming. I've already made my Hogwarts special brew, so we got that going. Oh my goodness, guys, it's so funny. I sat here and hit all the other little buttons, and then the very last button, start streaming. So I've been sitting here talking for 4 minutes to myself, thinking that I was live. Can you guys see and hear me now? Just to make sure. Oh, you can. Okay, good. Back on track here. Just making sure everything is working. All right. Sorry, guys. I was sitting here. Can't see and hear you now. Okay, awesome. Got to press the right buttons, apparently. How is everyone doing out there in the Light Fam? Let's see. Who do we got here? I have to do the introductions all over again because I wasn't streaming. Mickey said that she is going to join us later. She's sorry that she can't be here. Well, we are feeling your presence, Mickey, and I appreciate you for letting us know. And thank you for watching the replay, it looks like. Hello, Christine. Brooke in the house. Katrina. Patty Hatch. Anaconda. Freddie Smart. Welcome, everybody. How's everyone doing? Hey, Crystal. Great seeing you. I have to tell you guys, I don't know if Mercury is still in retrograde or not. I don't really pay attention, but my energy has definitely shifted kind of back to normal. That last 2 weeks was rough with all of the shifts, the lunar eclipse, and all of that stuff. But feeling back to normal, ready to rock and roll. How are you guys feeling now? Do you guys feel like your energy is back to normal? Estella says, thank you for your videos. They have been helping me a lot. Awesome. That's what a light worker wants to hear. Hey, Monica, great for showing up, my friend. All right, guys. So today's topic is on the secret to finding your life purpose. Is this a topic that a lot of you guys struggle with? Because it's certainly a question that I get asked quite a bit. Katrina says, yes, back to normal. Yep, today is much better, says Anna. Brooke, back to normal, yes. Christine says, my energy is on point. All right, I see you, Christine. Annika, hi there, thank you for your videos. You're very welcome, Annika. So glad that they're helping. Teresa McWhorter, good morning. I just found your channel a couple days ago, and I hope to be more enlightened. Well, I appreciate you for stopping by. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support, and welcome to the Light Fam. BT, my man, in the house. Thought I was the only one. My energy's still in the dumps, sadly, trying to shift back. Well, hopefully today's video will help you shift your energy back to where it needs to be. I'm going to send you some of my energy. Here's some heart chakra BT. Sending BT some heart chakra energy, some light, and some blessings. Let me know if you can feel that, BT. Stella says, yes, feeling stuck in life. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Yes, it was rough the last couple of weeks, and energy was through the roof. Yeah, if you think about it, look at the effect that the moon has on the tides, right? And our bodies are 60% water, so it would only make sense that the moon would affect us in this way. So Joyce says back to normal. Oh, not back to normal yet. Okay. I thought I was going crazy. You're not going crazy. It's just ascension symptoms. SG, I made another one. I can't wait to see what else I can learn. It's been crazy. Awesome. BT says, thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. You're very welcome, my friend. All right, guys. So let me get on into our topic, the secret to finding your life purpose. So this is where things get a little interesting. The secret to finding your life purpose is that you don't have to find it. It's not something to be searched for. It's not something that is hiding out there. Your life purpose is right under your nose. Oh, where could it possibly be? It's right under your nose. Your life purpose is in your heart, guys. It's not in your mind. So in other words, you can't think your life purpose into existence. Your life purpose is really just waiting for you to sink into your heart and get out of your ego and your head. So why would your life purpose not be in your mind, in your ego? Well, the brain and the ego were created after incarnating, but what's in your heart was placed there before you decided to incarnate, right? So your heart is directly linked to your soul, your higher self. So the passion that is in your heart is what needs to be paid attention to, because that doesn't go away. So, the voice in your heart can certainly be repressed and quieted and silenced, because it can be buried under all of the excuses from the ego as to why you can't do it. But it doesn't go away. That dream is still there. You just have to kind of dig it out from under the ego's nonsense. So if you're not listening to your heart, somebody in the comments mentioned that they felt stuck. Well, if you're not listening to your heart, you probably feel stuck because you don't know why you're waking up in the morning. You don't know your why for every day. And you have to stop trying to use logic and ego to manifest your passion. If I were to ask you to close your eyes and place your hand where you intuitively feel your passion to be, would you place your hand on your head, or would you place it on your heart? Probably your heart, right? So when you listen to your heart, you feel your intuition. Most likely your intuition is telling you what your life purpose is. In other words, you intuitively already know what your life purpose is, but the ego's fear-mongering and anxiety and, numbers crunching, how are we going to do it? Will it work? You can't hear your heart's intuition. So, in other words, you aren't present enough to perceive that feeling of intuition as to what that passion is, because of the ego's noise, essentially. So, your imagination and creativity is kind of constricted by the ego's fear-mongering. So, if you are asking, should I do this or should I do that, and you're kind of waffling back and forth, understand that that's the ego. You're trying to use brain power and logic to figure out your life purpose, but it doesn't live in your brain, which is why there's frustration in the brain. You got to sink into the heart. Does that make sense, guys? You guys, did that land? Monica, thanks, David. Feels good and exciting to be here. I'm so tired all the time. Must mean something. Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. It could be diet, exercise. Are you getting enough sleep? Could be ascension symptoms. Are you staying hydrated? There's a lot going on there. Christine, yes, we definitely have to have a reason to get up every day. This is so important. Nice. It should feel and come naturally, says Brooke. SG said yes, it did. It landed. Yes, definitely love that. Awesome. Yeah, so see where, I like what Brooke said. It should feel and come naturally. That's a whole different frequency than searching. A lot of times searching kind of keeps you in standing in the vibration of the absence of what you're searching for, because you're coming from a place of incompleteness and confusion. But if you're going to search, if you're going to find, search your heart. You'll always find it there. All right, guys, let me move on to my next little point here. All right, so when we're talking about the secret to finding your life purpose, there are some simple questions that you guys can sit and ask yourself. And again, this is where meditation is worth its weight in gold. You really need to have a daily stillness practice or a me time practice where you're getting to know yourself and you're quiet and you're going within. And you can get in meditation and you can ask your heart, not the ego, ask your heart some of these simple questions. So I wrote them down. One, am I happy? That's an interesting question. Now, when you ask that question, am I happy? If you're in your heart, you're going to intuitively feel, because feeling is the language of the heart, the answer to that question. And then you may intuitively feel why you may or may not be happy. The why of why you would be happy. Oh yes, yeah, I'm doing my passion. I'm happy. Or no, I'm going to some job that I hate or whatever. So the why behind the yes or no should be intuitively felt from the heart. You don't want to do it from the ego, because the ego is going to try to come up with all kinds of reasons why it's okay to not feel good because this, and this. The heart is much more simple. Why? Because truth is much more simple. Truth is very rarely as complicated as the ego likes to make things, because the ego has an agenda. So feel into your heart. Am I happy? Am I passionate about what I do? This is a big one. Am I passionate about what I do? What burns in your heart? Now, notice that question is not what burns in your brain, right? It's what burns in your heart that is your passion, and that's what you have to pay attention to, because that doesn't go away. Another way of saying that is, am I doing the things that I love? Am I doing the things that I love? These are questions that you want to ask the heart. Now, this next one is really interesting, because you really kind of get to the root of what you love to do without the ego's obsession over survival. And that question is, if money were not a concern, what would I do? This is a very, very telling question, because a lot of times people just aren't doing what they want to do because the ego has convinced them that they can't survive that way. They can't make money at doing that, or they can't, a lot of times people do what they're doing because maybe their parents wanted them to go into that field, or maybe their culture expects them to go into that field, or maybe they believe that the only way to get respect in society is to go into that field. But when you ask the question, if money were not a concern, or other people's opinion were not a concern, what would I be doing? Notice how that question excludes the ego from that question. And so that means the answer will come from an egoless place, meaning it's more in alignment with the truth, more in alignment with your heart. So now the next question that you can ask yourself is, what could I sit and talk about for hours effortlessly on like a Saturday night, just on your free time? What could I sit and talk about effortlessly for hours? For me, it's spirituality. This is giving you a little bit of an idea of what you are vibrationally passionate about. Now, the next question that you can ask yourself, what demand can I feel that aligns with the talents and passions that I possess. So what demand can I feel? You want to fill a demand. You don't want to create a demand. And when we say, what demand can I feel? This also kind of throws a bone at the ego a little bit, because ego is really concerned about the hows. That's really what the ego wants to know. And so when you have a little bit more of a logical question, what demand can I feel? The ego feels a little bit more warm and fuzzy because it feels like it's got a plan. Next thing you can ask yourself in meditation, what am I the absolute best at with the least amount of effort? Now, this is actually a Steve Harvey quote. And I'm going to go through some of Steve Harvey's quotes, because on this particular topic, he's got some really good quotes that I think you guys will love. But what am I the absolute best at doing with the least amount of effort? This is your gift, all right? So some of Steve Harvey's quotes, your gift is what you do the absolute best at with the least amount of effort. So he also goes on to say, quit running away from your gift. Your gift will make room for you. This is 1,000% true. We're actually going to get deeper into that concept a little bit later here. But Steve says, stop trying to be something that you're not gifted at doing. Right? So now typically this means that the ego, as I said, has you doing something that is not your first choice. So whether it's through social conditioning or parenting or whatever reason you're doing it and it's not your heart, stop trying to do something that you're not gifted at doing. So the last thing from Steve is, he says, I would hate to die and never do the thing that I was born to do. Oof, man. That hits hard, that really does. You only have so much time in this incarnation, and why waste another day not doing what you love to do? Honestly, it goes by fast. I mean, we're already getting ready to go into June. Was it New Year's just a couple months ago? It goes by fast, guys. It goes by so fast. Now, this last question, what is your greatest epiphany after healing your trauma? Ooh. So what is your I get it now after having healed trauma? So oftentimes when we heal a specific type of trauma, we feel called to help others heal that specific type of trauma and find their voice, which might be your passion. So those are some of the questions that you guys can ask yourself in meditation. Does that resonate with you guys? BT says, I was just talking about sleep, diet, hydration, depression, exercise, stress. Which is it? My friend said all of the above. Yeah. There's not one magic pill. It all works together. Annika, yes, sinking into the heart makes sense, but then my mind, as soon as you said, but then my mind, nope, put the mind in the back seat. Starts to go haywire. Pure chaos. Feels better to know it's just my ego on hyperdrive. Yeah. Focus on your breathing. Center into your heart space. You can even do, breathing exercises. Take a deep breath, release, hold 3 seconds, release 3 seconds. Just get back to the present moment. Jen, I love this quote from The Alchemist because it's so true. You will never be able to escape from your heart. That's actually very apropos for another section that I have in this particular live. So I'm glad you said that. So it's better to listen to what it has to say. Absolutely. Stella, what I really wanted to do is to be a housewife. Unfortunately, that requires somebody else in my life. Hello to the Light Fam, says Jay Mills. M. Press. Brilliant list, thank you. You're very welcome, my friend. Katrina Hughes, absolutely love those questions. Hits me in the feels, yep. Yeah, those got me too. I was like, I gotta share this with the Light Fam. Yes, it is confirmation of everything that I'm on the right path. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So let's hit this point here. Since we're on the topic of sinking into your heart space, a lot of times this is going to be in meditation. Asking the question, what is your life purpose, is a question that can be posed to your spirit guides. But they're going to give you those answers through your heart space. So you've got to be present and not allow the ego to have the mind off in some future scenario where you miss the signs. Because they're going to give you the breadcrumbs. They're going to show you where you're in a vibrational alignment with the answer to what is my life purpose. So if you're not present, you're not going to get those answers. And you got to remember, your spirit guides, this is something that you guys all agreed to each other's role before deciding to incarnate. And so they're on standby waiting to help, especially when it comes to your life purpose, which is the whole point of incarnating, right? That's your pre-life intention. What is your pre-life intention for this particular incarnation? Well, I've got my guides on the other side to, give me the insight that I need to stay on the right path, or give me that sign to let me know that that's the direction I'm supposed to take. So they're there for you. So this is a great question that you can ask your spirit guides. But again, you've got to be in the present moment so that you can perceive what they're trying to tell you, and get that answer from them. Does that resonate with you guys? Let's see, where did I leave off? LL, and your any other spiritual stuff experience like astral travel? Do you believe in Hindu religion? I'm not sure what the first question is about astral travel. I do astral travel. I love astral traveling. I'm not a Hindu scholar. There are some things that I take from it. I don't agree with its stuff on karma. So I disagree with the Hindu religion on that, their perception of it. Sarah, hi David, great topic, but what if I don't know what I want to do at all and I'm scared to get lost or do something wrong? I love that question. You know what? That is actually under the common misconceptions about the secret of finding your life purpose. So I'm going to segue right into that. So the first common misconception is, I'm gonna address yours because do. If I can get organized. Well, one of the common, I can't find it, but one of the common misconceptions is that you can't get it wrong. Your heart and the universe are like a ginormous GPS system. They're always going to reroute you, right? So it's okay to try things that you feel are in resonance with your heart, because your heart is very quickly going to let you know whether it's in vibrational alignment or not. And then your heart and the universe is going to reroute you like a big GPS system, basically. All right, guys. So some of these other misconceptions about finding a life purpose. Your life purpose doesn't have to be this epic accomplishment where you change the world. Now, if that desire is in your heart, then that's your life purpose, and the universe will definitely back you up. But don't think, ego, that it has to be that. Because remember, you can't think it. You can only know it in your heart. But maybe your life purpose is simply transmuting what is not love in your life and learning to live and appreciate in the present moment in a state of childlike wonderment. Maybe your life purpose is simply to live in a state of happiness on your own terms. And that new perspective on life kind of has an evolutionary effect on Source as the collective. So, you're going to inspire other people that are in your life by being the example of being happy and present and free and living life on your own terms. Maybe you don't have to inspire the entire world, but everyone in your circle is also Source having a physical experience, trying to evolve from a different perspective. So maybe there's someone in your life, by just you standing in your sovereignty, maybe you inspire someone else to become mindful, start doing, breath work, or maybe they start meditating, maybe they start finding their inner voice. Maybe you're inspiring, maybe your sovereignty is inspiring somebody to set healthy boundaries and defend those boundaries. So maybe you transmuting in your life what is not love and then living from that place is inspiring other people around you to step into their power and live from an empowered place. So in other words, your life purpose, doesn't have to be something epic. It can be just you standing in your power and enjoying life to the fullest, one day at a time. And really that's what life is about, just being happy. We didn't come here to to be miserable. Or maybe we came here to be miserable for a minute so that we can understand the value of being happy. All right, the next misconception is you're not running out of time. It's the ego that wants you to think that you're running out of time because it either wants you to stay safe in what it considers your familiar comfort zone, or it's just simply getting impatient with not having all of the answers, with not having the answers as to what your life purpose is. Remember, the ego is all about control. So when the ego doesn't know something, it throws you into fight or flight because not having that information, it believes, is a threat to survival. So I can promise you, Source is not running out of time. Spirit is not hurried. Spirit is not rushed. It's the ego that feels it's running out of time, but Source is not rushed. Time is a man-made construct anyway. And you can start your passion at any age. I promise you, there is somebody older than you are right now that has started their passion and they are knocking it out of the park. Why? Because all possibilities exist now. Energy has that much power when it has enough intention and passion behind it. It can start at the drop of a hat, and then it builds momentum. Energetic momentum is something that you can start at any time, and it begins to climb. You guys feeling that? Yikes, I'm late. Hey, Kelsey Chow. Better late than never, my friend. I appreciate you stopping by. Gabrielle, I know what my purpose in life is, but I know it will require lots of money to create, which I don't have at all. What should I do? Stop thinking you don't have it. You have to understand that your actual identity is abundance itself. That's your spiritual DNA. Why? Because your Source having a physical experience. Source is absolute abundance. So you have to change your story. The universe is always going to mirror back to you your story. Right now, your story is, I don't have a lot of money. Well, the universe says, here's your mirror. Here's your belief. So, and, of course, it's easier said than done, which just means it starts out in the mind. But when you sit in meditation, you access the theta brainwave state, the brainwave state of the subconscious, and you reprogram your identity to be that of absolute abundance itself, then you just effortlessly share the same space with abundance. It's not something that you believe is not you, or you have to attract from some other place or anything like that. Johnny True Love, what's up, my brother? What up, Light Fam? What up, David? What up, my friend? The more we heal, the more your purpose will be revealed. Glad you said that. Excellent segue into my next little section here. Brooke says, I've had a knowing since childhood that I was to work in healthcare and be a healer. Awesome. Yeah, follow that knowing. Katrina, hey, Johnny True Love. SG, I really like that perspective. We are never late. Correct. We are on time, so to speak, meaning it happens when it's supposed to. Yeah, and when it's supposed to is when you choose to trust the universe, put some intention and some passion behind it, and move forward and take action. Remember, we don't want to, hide behind divine timing and not act. We act, and then the universe says, boom, I got you. Irene, I'm late too, but we'll definitely watch the replay. Awesome, Irene, better late than never. Thank you for stopping by. All right, what else? What else we got on the list? Okay, so this, like I was kind of saying earlier, if you're not sure what your life path is, you don't have to worry about choosing the wrong path because, again, you can't get it wrong. Your heart and the universe, they're going to act like a big GPS system. They're going to reroute you when something doesn't resonate. So in other words, they're going to say, hey, you missed your exit. You missed your turn. We need to reroute you. And if we really think about it, isn't that what your heart is doing every morning when that alarm clock goes off and you don't want to go to someplace you don't want to go and do something that you don't want to do? Isn't that really your heart rerouting you? So, that's basically your heart saying, hey, this isn't in alignment with why we're here. So when that alarm clock goes off, it was kind of like I was saying, when you close your eyes, where do you intuitively feel your passion? Well, when that alarm clock goes off, place your hand on your head, place your hand on your heart, and ask yourself, which path am I going to follow today? So if your path doesn't fill you with joy and purpose, then you need to listen to that GPS system. You're on the wrong street. You missed your exit. We need to figure out where that U-turn is going to be. But that begs the question, are you present enough to perceive that you're being rerouted? A lot of people are not perceiving this. They're just in that mindless rote routine, right? And they're not being present enough because they're thinking about what they got to do. They're off into the future. Are you present enough to perceive that you're being rerouted? And this is where the ego you need to get the ego and its obsession over survival out of the picture. So, how do you know who your master is first thing in the morning? Well, when that alarm clock goes off, are you serving your head or are you serving your heart? Are you serving fear or are you serving love? Are you serving the fear of not being able to pay your bills? Or are you serving the fear of sharing your passion with the rest of the world? So it's kind of like what Steve Harvey was saying, your gift will make room for you, so your passion will make room for you. In other words, your world will adjust to your passion. Let's say that a couple more times. Your world will adjust to your passion. Your world will adjust to your passion. If we really think about it, don't you think the world would adjust to your passion? Because if we look at a lot of people in the 3D matrix, they're so self-consumed in their own thing, addicted to their screen and mindlessly going to some cubicle farm, 9 to 5 every day and kind of in this robotic thing. But it's the person with passion and the courage to follow that passion that sticks out from the crowd like a sore thumb. And then, the automatons that, aren't, conscious, they're going to celebrate your passion. They're going to live vicariously through you because they're saying to themselves, wow, I wish I had the courage to follow my heart like this person. I wish I could be passionate like this person's. I'm going to support this person. So this is why I say your world will make room for your passion. Your world will adjust to your passion, and then everyone else around you will also support you. And don't take offense if you feel like you're one of these people that is kind of in that robotic rote routine every day. Because if you don't like where you are, it just simply means you need to become aware of it, and you can change it. You can literally change it on the drop of a dime. It's just awareness and consciousness. So this was certainly the case in my life. I have a passion for sharing empowering information. I have a passion for empowering people. And I came from the finance industry, a very 3D matrix type of industry. And when I felt the call to follow my heart, I definitely faced a lot of fears of, how was I going to do this? I mean, what are the hows, right? The hows are the domain of the universe. How am I going to follow this passion? How am I going to support myself? But this is where your spiritual practice comes in and saves the day. I had already been doing years worth of present mindful meditation, retraining my subconscious, identifying as source itself, having a physical experience. This means my identity is absolute abundance. This is my spiritual DNA, the same as it is your spiritual DNA, because you are source having a physical experience. This means you are absolute abundance, absolute whole and complete. And because this was my belief system, I knew that I just needed to trust the process. And because, the passion that's in my heart, that passion has to be for my highest good and everyone else that is involved with me. I mean, come on, guys. You think that your passion that you chose before you decided to incarnate is going to leave you living under a bridge? No, you wouldn't have chose that passion before you decided to incarnate if the fulfilling of that passion was going to leave you living under a bridge. So this is where you got to tell the ego to pipe down, go sit at the kiddie table. This conversation is for adults only, right? And I had to get present with myself, get present with my higher self, my team in the unseen. And the download that I got was the universe does not want a part-time employee. The universe can only expand and express itself through and as you when you are fully invested. The universe can only illuminate everyone that you are connected with when you are fully committed to your passion. So the universe wants you to be a full-time employee because the universe doesn't want you to be distracted or dilute your passion with the fear of survival. So guess what? The universe is going to say, okay, you're on board with expanding so that I can expand to the fullest through you. Wonderful. Here's a full-time salary, right? So the universe is going to take care of you. I did a YouTube Shorts recently where I said, the universe isn't all the way in until you are all the way in. A lot of you guys are straddling the fence and you're only getting half of the universe's backing, and you're sending the universe mixed signals. But you have to bet on yourself, believe in yourself, and go all the way in, and then the universe is going to amaze you with its full backing and support. So you guys have probably heard the story of light waves that I've said in previous videos. I had some pretty life-changing higher consciousness epiphanies prior to 2018. My deceased father visited me and gave me real-world information that I couldn't have known until, a little bit later. And so this proved to me that we never die. There is an amazing afterlife. As a matter of fact, he showed up in a spaceship. So, apparently there's just, galaxies and dimensions and all of this stuff. And then I had a Kundalini awakening and sat with God and had some very just life-changing downloads. And I'm like, I've got to get this information to people because people are living in this self-imposed prison of fear and they're suffering because of their own belief system. I've got the key to set you free. Let's do this. I got to get this message out. And at the time I was in mortgages and finance, and I forgot what happened, but right after those, life-changing kind of epiphanies, my company really took off. And so I got distracted with doing finance and mortgages, and I had already come up with the name Lightways, but I hadn't started the channel yet. And I got distracted with that, and Lightways was kind of put on the side, and I hadn't started the channel. And then something happened to where I didn't think I was going to be able to do mortgages anymore. And so I was kind of in this down place. What am I going to do now? And of course the ego was like, well, what are you going to do now? And I go to the grocery store, and in the parking space, there's a car. It was a black Mercedes. I've got a picture of this on my IG. The license plate said, "Be a light." Boom. That's it. That's it. Lightways. We're going forward. We're not looking back. That's it. When the universe speaks, that's it. Why? Because the universe is absolute truth. Truth cannot be stopped. Truth cannot be denied. When the universe speaks, shut the ego up, go forward. That's it. And that's exactly what I did. And the universe found a way to just bring it all together. So don't worry about the hows. If you guys follow Mike Dooley, Mike Dooley calls them the cursed hows. I call them the blessed hows. But the hows are the domain of the universe. You got to think about it. Listen, when the universe gives you a sign that just knocks you over the head, you got to go. You got to trust it. Because if you don't, and you listen to your ego, how does that make any sense? You think your ego knows more than the universe? I'm trying not to. You guys know what word was about to come out there. But do you think that the ego knows more than the universe? Do you think the ego is more powerful than the universe? Shut the ego up, Now, I don't want to be that aggressive towards the ego because, again, we don't want to make an enemy of the ego. So we want to pacify the ego a little bit. We say, ego, okay, yeah, I hear you, but I got this. Go sit at the kiddie table. This is for adults only. Okay, so you have to understand that it's not just enough to say the universe has your back. There's got to be a reason behind it. Well, the reason is the universe is also you. For the universe not to have your back would mean the universe is divided against itself. That can't happen. That's duality. That's not unity. So the universe always has your back. There's a lot of programming. Well, only if I'm obedient and only if I'm faithful and only if I pass a test and, the universe rewards the faithful. You don't need to be faithful. You don't need any of that. Just know that the universe is not going to let you down as itself. Done. It takes deserving out. It takes faith out. It takes passing a test out. Have I been a good person? Have I been a bad person? All of that programming is fear-based nonsense to fear you into good behavior and fear you into obedience. The universe doesn't work that way. Trying to project man's system of governing, of punishment and reward onto the universe is laughable. We've got to get out of these little small paradigms that we've been socially conditioned into. The universe doesn't work that way. That's not unity, and it's not unconditional love. So a little bit of a tangent there, but you guys said you like my tangent, so we'll do it. But my main point for that story, sharing my story of Lightways, is I just had a passion to get this message out because the universe said go. And I just went, and the universe took care of the rest. So the universe will absolutely do the same thing for you, because the universe is also you. And it's going to take care of itself as you. Does that resonate with you guys? Oh, I don't even know where in the world I left off. Hey, Nicole Fontana, how are you, my friend? I love that story. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Chola, hey, David, how's everything going? It's going awesome, Chola. My energy is back to normal. I think the energies are feeling good on my end. I've seen a lot of people in the comments say that they're still kind of. On that note, one thing I want to say, this was actually going to be a TikTok that I was going to make because it was another download that I got after my energy did return to normal. And that is, be patient with yourself if your energy is not where it is, because it will return to normal. Just have confidence that it's going to return to normal. And that allows you to kind of get through it with a lot more grace and ease. And that way you don't think that you're going crazy. You just expect that it's going to return to normal, because it eventually will reset. Oh man, I don't even know where to jump in. Oh shoot, we got 10 minutes. Let me see. I know I got some other stuff here for you guys. Oh, okay. This is big. We got to talk about this. Okay. And you guys know I always have to hit this topic when we have a live, because it's so important, and it's actually the reason that we're here. But so the secret to finding your life purpose, is there a common theme in all of your relationships in regards to trauma that you need to heal? So let me explain what I mean by this, and whether it's whatever, abandonment, trauma, feeling not being worthy of love, or low self-esteem, or low self-worth, or chasing validation. The opposite of that common theme is related to your life purpose. This is because you can't understand something until you have experienced and lived through its vibrational opposite. So experiencing its opposite is something that is felt palpably before the mind logically understands it. So it's your life purpose to find and transmute the opposite of your life purpose. So said in a different way, healed trauma holds the same frequency as your life purpose. And now the pieces of the puzzle, as far as what you're going through, start to make sense. Healed trauma holds the same frequency as your life purpose. So now you understand why you may have chosen the parents that you chose. Now you understand why you may have chosen the trauma that you would need to heal from. Now you understand why you may have chosen the different life experiences that you would need to heal from before deciding to incarnate. So let's say that your experience was your life purpose might be in alignment with unconditional love. So wouldn't it make sense that you would choose parents that make love conditional? So in other words, they make love transactional. You would have to live through that, feel that palpably, and transmute it and heal it to get a greater understanding of what unconditional love actually is. And that epiphany is going to be in alignment with your life purpose. So take a look at, and they don't have to be romantic relationships. They can be any type of a relationship, because relationships are how we express the level of healedness of our trauma, right? So do you people please with everyone that you meet? Do you chase validation with everyone that you come into contact with, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. So the overcoming and the healing of that trauma will be in alignment with your life purpose. So you're always moving toward your life purpose. This is why repeating cycles always come around, because you're always moving toward your life purpose. So the repeating types of relationships, the repeating patterns, the same reason why you keep job hopping or having that same type of financial problem, all of those keep coming around because you're forever moving towards your life purpose. So your higher self is always going to keep giving you the opportunities to heal what is keeping you from your life purpose. And this is why one of the first stages after coming out of the dark night of the soul, after you've healed the trauma, is this sense of life purpose, right? So this is why the dark night of the soul is designed to force you to heal so that you can get on track with your life purpose. See the method in the madness? The method in the madness that you actually chose. So you got to remember that. Remember that you chose it from a higher perspective and for a higher purpose, but you may not be able to see that from your surface mind on your current timeline. But your higher self has that higher vantage point and is constantly keeping you on the correct timeline to allow you to heal what is keeping you out of alignment with following your life purpose. So, look at those roadblocks and challenges that are throwing you off completely different, not as something that's there to punish you or to stop you, but as things that hold the key, facing the fear and healing the trauma, that unlocks the door to you stepping onto your timeline of living your life purpose. Does that make sense, guys? And that kind of goes back to one of the questions that we asked. What is your greatest epiphany after healing your trauma? So you've got to understand that it's the opposite of, well, let me say it differently. Unhealed trauma is the opposite frequency of your life purpose. So once you heal the trauma, then you get in alignment with what that life purpose is, and you get more clues as to what it is. And a lot of times it's just going to unfold. Why? Because you're more on the frequency of love. Unhealed trauma is in alignment with fear. The more that you heal that fear, and again, fear is the barrier to expression. What are you not expressing when you're in fear? You're not expressing your authentic truth. So the more that you get out of alignment with fear, by default, you're going to be more in alignment with love, which takes you out of a survival, fight or flight frequency and puts you more into an allowing, receptive energy where you're just flowing through life, and then your life purpose will find you. Does that resonate with you guys? Johnny says, a TikTok, never knew Dave was a dancer. You don't see me doing the Macarena at the end of every... I'm just kidding. I don't dance on TikTok. I leave spiritual awakening thought of the day, dark night of the soul, advice of the day, ascension symptoms, tips of the day, stuff like that. And by the way, just hit 7,000 on TikTok just this morning, actually. So feel good about TikTok. Where am I? I don't even know. Let's see. Katrina Hughes, we love watching you live. We love watching you live your passion, and it inspires us. Thank you, Katrina. Appreciate you. Christine Wright, wow, David, that was awesome. Absolutely resonated. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you, Christine. Chola, whoa, that was a bouncer. Oh, look at Katrina. I appreciate you, my friend. Sending light and love to Katrina Hughes. I'm going to send you some light language. I'm just kidding. It does kind of sound something like that, though. I appreciate you, Katrina. Thank you, my friend. Let's see here. SG, healed trauma holds the same frequency as your life purpose. Yes, it does. I have healed from religious and emotional trauma. Now I will be coaching people, yes, who are recovering from it. Yes, makes sense. Damn, you're deep. And by the way, religious deprogramming is something that I offer in my coaching packages, by the way. I'm very passionate about unprogramming the nonsense that people have been brought up with, because it keeps them in fear and just shame and guilt and low self-esteem and just, it's horrible programming. Leavja Kota. Hey, friend, thank you for showing up. Absolutely everything you said, shared today is such absolute gold. I appreciate you. Thank you. Brooke, yes, I do feel like my purpose is going to change now that I've done some healing. Yeah. Yeah, because if you think about it, your perception is coming from a higher vantage point, because there's no longer fear keeping you in a lower frequency. And once that higher consciousness becomes your default point, that life purpose seems to change a little bit. Usually before that spiritual awakening, the life purpose is more in alignment with the ego. Let's see here. What do we got? BT. Wow. Healed from trauma. Oh, healed trauma is on the same level as your passion and purpose. So me healing and stopping my repeating habits is yet another indication I'm on the right path. Shout it from the rooftops, BT. Yes, my friend, that's absolutely true. Chola, absolutely. Yeah, it makes, yeah, that Macarena. Oh, Macarena. And I don't even know how to do it. I just see the first little moves, and then, you know. Let's see. Chola says congratulations. Oh, on the 7,000. Thank you. Johnny says congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Nicole Fontana, are you on Instagram as Lightways? Yeah, _Lightways. So on Instagram, it's _Lightways. On TikTok, it's Lightways555. Which, by the way, there's another thing that I wanted to mention. Let's see, I got that. I dance while I read my notes. Don't laugh at my dancing, guys. Oh, I have way too much fun with this. Oh, okay. 2 points I want to hit. I know we're over our hour here. Remember when I said earlier, you don't want to make an enemy of the ego. What you resist persists. So I like to throw the ego a bone, so to speak. So a lot of times it's hard for us to take that leap of faith and trust our heart when our ego is just protesting so much. So I like to give the ego a peace offering. So you can give that ego a little bit of logic to gnaw on, you know, like a chew toy. If you sit down and write out some things like, okay, I've got X number of months in reserves, right? This is the demand that I'm going to fill that's in alignment with my passion. This is the methodology I'm going to use. Maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a IG, maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's a blog, whatever. And if I start making money by this particular point, maybe I've gone through half of my reserves, then I'll know that I'm on track. But if I get too far down the line without making money, then, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, ego. You know what I mean? So you kind of give the ego a little chew toy in the meantime so that you can focus on making your passion come to fruition without the ego distracting you with survival. So it's okay to sit down and kind of write out something that the ego can kind of latch onto for a minute and not distract you while you steer the car. Now, I did want to get to a couple of very helpful things when you guys are trying to find your life purpose. Are you guys into numerology? Numerology will give you some massive clues, specifically your life path number and your destiny number. Now, the destiny number is also called a name number. So, your life path number kind of indicates your primary mission in life, as well as your natural tendencies and talents, as well as the main obstacles that you'll need to face and overcome fully to get onto your life path. So, your life path kind of tells you your non-negotiable, but it's usually the overcoming of your main obstacle that allows you to step into that non-negotiable. For example, let's say you're a life path 5. A life path 5, their non-negotiable is freedom. Like, that's hot. That freedom is the top. Freedom is everything. However, life path 5s struggle with fear. So, life path 5s have to overcome fear to live their non-negotiable of freedom. Does that make sense? So your life path will tell you what your non-negotiable is. So let's say that you're a life path 5, and you just can't be stuck in a corporate job. If you're wondering why you're miserable, you might be a life path 5. Life path 5s are all about freedom. They don't want to be stuck in a cubicle farm somewhere. If you're a life path 9, you're someone that really wants to help humanity. You're all about service to others. And so maybe commission sales job might not be your thing. So knowing your life path number gives you a lot of insight about your natural tendencies, what your non-negotiable is, and the main obstacle you'll have to overcome to live your non-negotiable. In other words, meaning you're living happy. There's actually I didn't write the site down. If you guys want to Google, her name is Felicia Bender, and I want to say that's Felicia Bender, B as in boy, Ender, and then just like type life path number after that, and it'll go to her website. I forget the actual web address, but she has a complete website on how to calculate your life path number. And then when you calculate it, she has a huge blog on it with an accompanying video where she's explaining everything about your specific life path. So it'll give you a lot of insight. So in other words, if you're looking, if you're not sure what your life purpose is, and you discover what your non-negotiable is, and then you discover what it is that you need to overcome to live your non-negotiable, which is going to be in alignment with healing unhealed trauma, you're going to get a much greater insight into what that life path of what your life purpose is. You know, you might be a life path 9 and really want to help humanity, but you can't figure out why you're unhappy. Well, you might be in a career where you're not helping humanity. You're in more of a service to self industry, but your natural life path is service to others. Your destiny number, or your name number, which is basically what they do is they take all the letters of the name on your birth certificate and what would be the right word for that? Subtract it down or add it down to one single number, and then that's your destiny number. So the reason that this works, and you guys can test this out for yourself, it's crazy accurate, but each letter holds a specific vibrational alignment within the universe, which means you chose your name before deciding to incarnate based upon your pre-life intention, what you wanted to accomplish, what your life purpose was going to be after incarnating. Now that begs the question, did you choose your name, or did your parents choose your name? Or before actually being born, was your stream of consciousness or higher self influencing your parents' choice of the name? Inquiring minds want to know. Cue the Twilight Zone music. But anyway, guys, back to the destiny number. The destiny number tells you kind of what you're destined to experience, but it shows you how you will express your life purpose. So the destiny number shows you what you're destined to become, but it's more or less shows you how you're going to express it. Now, as far as the destiny number, there's not a specific site that I go to, but you can just Google destiny number or name number. Any site you go to is going to have a little calculator where you type in your name, and then it gives you the number, and then you can read off the number and just see for yourself how accurate it is. I think you guys will be really surprised to see how accurate life path numbers and destiny numbers are. And those are all of my notes. Do we have any questions on how to find your life purpose? Where in the world did I leave off? Empress, you are amazing. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. You truly are my favorite, intuitive, and resonate enlightenment so much. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Annika says, can you do a video on Kundalini awakening? Yes, I can. It is on the list. And exactly the universe, and how exactly the universe talks to you. Several different ways. I feel my arms Kriya spelling, but I don't know the source ego, universe, angels, or guides. I'm not sure I understand the question, but your heart knows. Your heart knows who's talking to you. Your higher self, your guides, they're going to put the answer in here because it bypasses the ego. And you interpret the answer by feeling what the answer is, because the language of the heart is feeling. So you intuitively feel what that answer is. Reprogramming my strong religious background has been very enlightening, yet makes me sad too, because my family is still deep. It says BT. Yeah, and it's okay because everybody is right where they're supposed to be. They chose to be on that path until they're no longer on that path, so we can't live other people's life for them. And, we don't want to be like, a lot of these religions that get out of their lane and into other people's lanes and try to shove their religion down other people's throat. You don't want to be like the ones that you don't agree with their methodologies. So you just be the example, and your light will plant a seed a lot of times. But remember, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You don't want to share your spiritual experience with them unless they ask, basically, and they're ready to receive it. Because it's pointless if they're not ready to receive it. They're not gonna. It's going to be bouncing off of their ears. It's not going to go in. Okay, SG. I may be directing some clients your way. Oh well, I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. I'll do all I can to help. Chola, me, I am in numerology. Yes. She says, my life path is 7. Nice. Such people are very spiritual. Absolutely. Johnny's raising his hand. I guess he's into numerology as well. Irene, life path 1. Soul surge 11. Okay, so you guys are aware of this stuff. I love how enlightened the light fam is. You guys are high vibrational. Let's see here. Empress, also look into astrological natal chart and see where Venus is. This shows you where your heart and what you love is. A good start anyway. There are many pointers from your natal chart that will help. Nice. Very much my life path is a 5. Oh, freedom. Does freedom resonate with you, SG? Brooke's mind is blown, apparently. Christine says, destiny number through name. Would that indicate juniors? Yeah, that's a very good question. The way that they do it, they say to take off the juniors and the seniors, and the rest is just the full name on the birth certificate. Meaning don't use an initial for the middle name, use the full name, middle name. Yes, I follow her. Oh, Felicia Bender, is that what we were talking about? Yeah, she's great. Katrina says, I need to check mine. This video found me. Isn't it funny how the universe works that way? Deborah C. Welcome, my friend. Great seeing you. Thank you from Italy. Awesome. Sending love back to you from the States. All right, guys. Well, as usual, we're well over our hour. Does anyone have any last questions on how to find your soul purpose or life purpose? Are your one-on-one coaching calls on Zoom? Yes, they are. How do they work? So if you go to my website and click coaching options, there's the 45-day one-on-one coaching. There's a 90-day one-on-one coaching, or you can just do little hourly Zoom packages, kind of tailored to however many sessions that you need. There's 60-minute recorded sessions. I always send you the recording so you can go back and kind of get all of the aha moments. And then there's a little bit of a questionnaire before we schedule the Zoom call. So some questions on there are going to be like, what is your biggest struggle with spirituality? Stuff like that, so that we can I can get a really deep understanding of what you're going through and where I can add some spiritual intuition before we get to the call. That way you get the most bang for each call. And it's tailor-made for you. Johnny True Love, much love, brother. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, another live in the books. This is a lot of fun. We can do one more question on finding your soul purpose, if anyone has them. While I'm waiting on the question, I'll give myself a little energy cleanse with my my wand. Got my my amethyst here. It keeps my third eye. Would you guys be interested in a third eye video? I'm trying to think of some new topics. I can go over how to activate the third eye, some of my third eye experiences. I've seen some crazy things. So how do you keep your teeth so white? It's interesting. I did do teeth whitening about 6 or 7 years ago, and I haven't really seemed to need it since. Light and love. Thank you so much, David. Thoroughly enjoyed your live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Well, I guess that is it. Oh, we got a yes, please from Empress on the third eye. All right, guys. I think I will make a third eye live. Oh, by the way, next week's guest finally confirmed. It's a lock. We are doing this thing. I'm going to have a very special guest on next week's live Thursday at 9:30 p.m., 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. I think that you guys are really going to enjoy this guest. I'm going to wait until I do the thumbnail to let you guys know the subject and who the guest is, but you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. So just keep an eye out on the channel. You guys are going to like next week's live. And also, if you can, please share this live and any of my videos with as many as you know, so that the algorithm knows that the Light Fam exists and we can keep growing the Light Fam. Hey, chickens, look at you. What's up, chickens? Great seeing you. Just got on, just waking up. Well, no worries, my friend. You can watch the replay It's going to be uploaded as soon as I end the broadcast. And I appreciate you for starting your day the Lightways way. All right, guys, I'm getting silly now. I will see all of you guys next week in more videos and lives. I love all of you. Light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.